we have the honor of having Arnell Bryant-Willis here with us to talk about diversity, and we thank her very much for joining us and look forward to a wonderful presentation.
Thank you and good afternoon. I want to start this presentation by giving you just a tad bit of history regarding the Florida Bar and diversity. Diversity itself is not new to the Florida Bar. Way back in 2004, there was the first diversity symposium that was a result of the then President Miles McGrain. And then in 2010, there was a special committee on diversity and inclusion that was established by the Board of Governors. At that time, I co-chaired that committee with Dory Foster Morales. Then I became the first diversity initiatives manager here at the Florida Bar in 2011. And at that point, the bar moved from just being one who was concerned about diversity and moved to being concerned and wanted to make sure that inclusion was also made a part of the total process. You have been given a handout, and that handout is a handout of the logo, and it has the mission on the bottom of the page. You've also been given an opportunity to accept a pin, a diversity and inclusion pin, that I hope that you would wear. You see, that pin was initially purchased by the reptiles. And every time we reorder more pins, they send them to us with the reptile card on it, which is fine. It shows that where the beginning started with making sure that everyone was aware of inclusion. I won't read the mission statement to you because I know that's one of the main things that you do in your practice. You read all the time. But I would like to share what it means. This logo was actually created by bar staff. The bar staff came together. I believe there were 6 of us who came together, and we put a charge out throughout the bar for volunteers to come up with a design. And one of our journal and news staff individuals came up with the design partially. When we got the patchwork, what looks like a patchwork quilt to you perhaps, there was something missing. And one of the members of the committee who taunted, "I don't know anything about this. Well, why don't you just put a path in it?" And we did. And she continued to talk, and we were looking for that one slogan that made it work. And she came up with the path to unity. And those of us who were in the room said, aha, that really works. Now, as you can see, the bottom of the white path is very wide. It's wide because that's what the bar is. The bar is a big organization. But when we come together, when we understand that diversity and inclusion are different, yet they go hand in hand, we will then meet together at the top, and all of us will be one. So the path from where we are now to where we are going tomorrow is already predestined for us, and we're going to keep working on it. In 2013, in May, the Board of Governors decided that they were going to sunset the Equal Opportunities section because of low participation primarily, and they created a standing committee on diversity and inclusion. That standing committee has no membership limits. We're not a section, therefore there are no dues, and all of you can become members of that section if you so choose. By the end of my presentation, I'm going to issue a request, a charge, or maybe I'll just impress upon you that you or someone from your section, or many someones from your section, and that may not be proper English, but I do realize I said it, come and be with us. I want to share with you that I do diversity training so that if there is a program or project or you wish for someone to come and work with your section in diversity, I would be more than happy to do that. That's a part of my role here. I work as the Diversity Initiatives Manager, but I'm also a member of the Reptile Section Diversity Committee, as well as Business Law. Why those two? Those are the two largest sections in the bar, so it was a very simple process of saying, let me go where I might be able to have the greatest impact first, but available to all of you. Now, let's talk a little bit about real inclusion and what it really entails. Inclusion is kind of classic, you know. It's like a fish in water kind of a problem. It's hard to see if you are already in it. But if you're outside of the inclusive world, then you feel a tad bit left out. Diversity is about who's represented in the organization, whereas inclusion speaks to more of who is respected, who's expected and integrated into a section, an organization, a division, or what have you. Diversity may be the conscious message for a section or a division as seeing what it's like for someone to be receiving a contrary message. If you are receiving a contrary message, then one of the things that you might want to ask yourself is, what am I really hearing? How am I a part of this process? What can I do to become more involved in the process? Diversity is also being invited to a party, but inclusion is being asked to dance after you get there and really become a participant. I am asking each of you who represent a section to follow the charge that the Board of Governors has already requested of you, and that is to send a representative to the Standing Committee on Diversity and Inclusion. That committee meets twice a year. We meet at annual, and we meet at the fall meeting. Other meetings are held via conference call, and there are about 6 subcommittees that you can actively participate in. I staff that committee. I also staff the Leadership Academy. So we are cross-pollinated, if you will. And we're trying very hard to make sure that everyone is aware. This is an awareness campaign. Want to also invite you, you were talking about marketing earlier. Market also to the 200-plus voluntary bars, those programs, those CLEs that you are sponsoring. Voluntary bars are oftentimes left out, but they are on the website, and their officers, their presidents are listed on the website. So those should be groups that you target when you are offering CLEs. I will coordinate with your administrators, asking the administrators if they will also work with me, and I'm sure they will, so that we will be able to get whomever you decide you want to serve on the Inclusion Committee to become a part. Our next meeting is going to be in October, and we would love to have that list of individuals so that we would be able to send them the notice to join us at an in-person meeting at the Tampa Marriott. The pins that you have, I encourage that you sport them so that everybody will want to know where you got it from. And then we'll order more and ensure that inclusion becomes the motto, and that no one feels that they're left behind in any program that is offered at the Florida Bar, as long as you are a member in good standings, and don't forget to pay your dues. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Please give me a call if you would like to have training done. We have fun training. We don't put you in a position where you're so tight that by talking about the ethnic end of diversity, we talk about diversity as an inclusive part of the bar. Of course, ethnicity, LGBT, women, and all of the areas that are listed on the mission statement are crucial to the success of the bar. Help us be the best in the country. Thank you.